Human happiness and moral duty are inseparably connected. Perseverance and spirit have done wonders in all ages. A sensible woman can never be happy with a fool. Happiness depends more upon the internal frame of a person's own mind than on the externals in the world. Few men have virtue to withstand the highest bidder. The harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. Associate yourself with men of good quality, if you esteem your own reputation, for 'tis better to be alone than in bad company. 99% of failures come from people who make excuses. If freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led like sheep to the slaughter. It is better to be alone than in bad company. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. I hope I shall possess firmness and virtue enough to maintain what I consider the most enviable of all titles: the character of an honest man. Worry is the interest paid by those who borrow trouble. I conceive a knowledge of books is the basis upon which other knowledge is to be built. Be courteous to all, but intimate with few, and let those be well tried before you give them your confidence. We must consult our means rather than our wishes. To persevere in one's duty and be silent is the best answer to calumny. There is nothing so likely to produce peace as to be well prepared to meet the enemy. Let your heart feel for the afflictions and distress of everyone. I hold the maxim no less applicable to public than to private affairs: that honesty is always the best policy. No punishment, in my opinion, is too great for the man who can build his greatness upon his country's ruin. Be not glad at the misfortune of another, though he may be your enemy. Strive not with your superiors in argument, but always submit your judgment to others with modesty. It is absolutely necessary for me to have persons that can think for me, as well as execute orders. The abyss from where no traveler is permitted to return. Individuals entering into society must give up a share of liberty to preserve the rest. A bad war is fought with a good mind. Decision-making, like coffee, needs a cooling process. Liberty, when it begins to take root, is a plant of rapid growth. A man ought not to value himself of his achievements or rare qualities of wit, much less of his riches, virtue, or kindred. If the cause is advanced, indifferent is it to me where or in what quarter it happens. I had rather be on my farm than be emperor of the world. Speak not evil of the absent, for it is unjust. Make sure you are doing what God wants you to do, then do it with all your strength. Those who have committed no faults want no pardon. We are only defending what we deem our indisputable rights. Friendship is a plant of slow growth and must undergo and withstand the shocks of adversity before it is entitled to the appellation. Let your discourse with men of business be short and comprehensive. When we assumed the soldier, we did not lay aside the citizen. It is impossible to reason without arriving at a supreme being. Laws made by common consent must not be trampled on by individuals. Observe good faith and justice toward all nations. Cultivate peace and harmony with all. Let us raise a standard to which the wise and honest can repair. The rest is in the hands of God. Heroes have made poets, and poets heroes. When one side only of a story is heard and often repeated, the human mind becomes impressed with it insensibly. Knowledge is in every country the surest basis of public happiness. There can be no greater error than to expect or calculate upon real favors from nation to nation. I shall make it the most agreeable part of my duty to study merit, and reward the brave and deserving. Truth will ultimately prevail where pains is taken to bring it to light. To contract new debts is not the way to pay old ones. 3 things prompt men to a regular discharge of their duty in time of action: natural bravery, hope of reward, and fear of punishment. A natural parent has only 2 things principally to consider: the improvement of his son, and the finances to do